Welcome back. You're listening to Home Wizards. Can you believe New Year's is just about upon us?
It is
nuts.
It is an amazing. It just all this stuff folds in like crashing waves, right?
Yeah.
You get your Christmas, you get your Thanksgiving, your Christmas,
Yeah.
and then my family's birthdays all start showing up in the spring, one after another, oh no, another, and then the class parties. Pretty soon I'm just buying things and getting gift cards for the.
It is pretty
crazy
pre-programmed, isn't it?
Isn't it?
But by the way, we're Home Wizards, and you are.
I'm Eric Stromer.
And I'm Cindy Dole. And, we're helping you through the stress because there's a lot of fun to be had. And so we're all about making it fun. And let's just say that you want to have some folks over for New Year's. And we've come up with a list of some really cool things that you should consider to make it a really amazing and fun and a doable party. That's not too crazy, not too over the top.
You can buy your standard things, the blowhorns, all that, or you can get creative and make stuff that is going to be unusual and interesting.
Like?
Well, how about a moon piñata?
Now, a moon piñata, are you going to use some of that board that you'd use for Halloween, or what are we doing with
You're talking about my foam core board?
Yeah, could you use foam core board? Or
you can either do it with foam core board, you can do it with, cardboard, just cut it out in the shape of a crescent moon.
Mm-hmm.
You could do two of them and then tape a piece to go on the inset to give it some relief, so it's like 3 to 6 inches deep. And then you can just cut up shredded paper or crepe paper or anything and tape it on there, with a glue gun, and pretty soon you got yourself a paper piñata.
And then you put like a little star.
You could put stuff in there too. You could have somebody beat the bejesus out of it with a bat at the end of the night, and guess what's in there?
Candy.
No. Little liquor bottles.
Oh, geez.
It just depends on what.
Plastic ones.
Plastic liquor bottles. Little pop-up vodka liquor bottles.
Now, did you grow up drawing a crescent moon and then putting inside the crescent? So let's say that the crescent is with a smile that's to the right, okay? Like the smiley part is to the right. The smaller part.
I made mine like a C.
Okay, so the C, and then let's say that you put the star inside the C.
Sure. You could hang a star right
Guess
in between.
what? That is impossible. Because in astronomy, what would that mean? I learned this in college.
The Earth was going backwards?
That the star, because the moon is round, and so the star wouldn't be right there.
No.
The star would be off to the side.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole moon.
This is impossible.
I know.
Symbiology. So forget
I know.
making this
I'm
thing.
going to make it. I'm still going to make it.
Astronomically inaccurate.
But I grew up always drawing the crescent like a C and putting the star in the middle.
The world is not flat, Cindy Dole.
Oh, goodness.
So there.
Well, now I'm just mortified. I got to start all over. Got to go back to school, apparently. But anyway, you can do the star any way you like.
Yes.
It's your New Year's party,
That's
for
right.
goodness sakes.
Yeah.
What about a DIY paper cube, string lights, little something, something? The idea is it's almost like making little origami squares.
Yeah,
right?
well, if you want to do some kind of a cool origami fold star,
yeah.
They do these really cool templates and show you how to fold this into these little amazing origami stars, basically. And it would take, if you did it with your family, you had 3 kids that were over 8 who could actually do this. Mm-hmm. You could probably get 20 of these made in an hour and a half, and that'd be a fun project to do. And then you can just tape them up to the wall, and you're good to go. It's there's templates all over the internet that show you how to make origami stars, so give that a look.
Or you could also turn one of those origamis into an actual cube, almost like a Chinese takeout cube. And
Sure.
And then what you do is you get a string of LED lights, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't want it to be a fire hazard.
Oh, and you thread them through the little boxes?
About 20 squares, and
That's
you put
a good
them
idea.
through, and especially if it, it's going to give it kind of a gold hue.
Yeah.
Isn't that clever?
That is really cute.
It feels very New Year's Eve-ish.
I like it. And you're not going to find that in just any market. That looks like you went out and spent $1 million
Yeah.
at some party store, but you didn't. You just made it at home.
You just made little squares.
Yeah, I can still make a cootie catcher. You know
I
how to do those?
know. How do you go?
Yeah, just pick a color, red, R-E-D. Pick a name or color, a number, blue. You love Tommy.
Oh no,
Yeah,
there's a message. My mom says
yeah,
da-da-da-da-da.
right.
That's cute. What about turning your wall into, now again, we're talking about getting ready for New Year's, into a giant confetti wall.
Sure. Yeah, and by the way, you could use some of your old wrapping paper from Christmas time, right?
Perfect.
Your holiday celebration. Cut it little circles and then just tape them with, and this is very critical. Don't just put regular Scotch tape on the wall. Put the kind that is for painting, either green or blue masking tape. Make the loops, and those things will pull off the wall easily and not pull your wallpaper or your paint off. And again, they're actually reusable, so it's a good thing to do. Circular little confetti colors, all different colors. Put them on a wall, like
Even colored
champagne,
tissue.
like champagne bubbles coming up from the wall.
And if you're not very even with cutting circles, you can photocopy, download a circle template.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Make it really easy. You don't even have to think about
that's
it.
right.
You know?
Or you don't have to do circles. You could do little triangles, whatever you want. Just
Fun.
Tear them into shapes. Doesn't matter.
Now, I like the idea of having for your party almost like a little station to identify what the beverages and the food offerings will be. So, for instance, let's say that you had a couple of frames, and what you can do is kind of fancy up the frame with some glitter. And then now get like a downloadable thing you can just type up that you're having a hot cocoa and marshmallow bar, or this is
that's
the
the
champagne
station label.
station for the food, or maybe you already have like a glass enamel frame that already gives you kind of a gold and silver and holiday.
That's cute.
New Year's feel.
Yeah, because man, all these templates are online. You can't believe all the stuff you can find.
know.
You just print them out and put them in a frame. Done.
You don't have to be a super artist.
Heck no.
Which is, I love that idea.
And you don't have to spend $30 at the paper stock store. You can do it yourself.
Now, everyone's going to be having champagne for New Year's, except for Eric.
For me, I'm going
You're
to
not
beer.
a fan of
I
the
might have
champagne.
beer. I might have tequila.
Okay. How about turning that bottle of champagne that you said that you like to re-gift
Yep.
into something that's really, really pretty? You basically cover the bottle with glitter. You just go
What's the
get
matter with that?
very, very simple, very cute. Get some gold glitter and maybe save the label. Don't cover the label part. But I think that kind of speaks New Year's Eve.
That's a really nice
Isn't that
idea,
cute?
actually. Yeah. Yeah. And then, you may want to, you could, if it's a nice bottle, like, fancy champagne, you may want to cover the label before you spray or glue glitter on, because you're going to want to see that it's fancy.
Yeah, right.
This isn't just some bad champagne you're covering up, right?
And speaking of glitter, because it's all about the silver and gold, I think, or like black and white and silver or gold. They just scream, New Year's Eve celebration.
That's right.
What about getting some of that bow tie pasta that you might have in your pantry?
I thought you were going to say, what about getting some Botox?
Oh, no. Well, that too could be part of your
Yeah,
2015.
boy, you look great. How did you do it? And
My
you can't.
lips-
And when you laugh, you can't.
My
There's no
lips are,
expression. Yeah.
I can't talk. I have a kind of bee
That's
sting
right.
therapy. But other than that, so yeah, I'm talking about not Botox or buttocks, but bow tie, that bow tie
Ooh.
pasta.
Oh,
And you're
yeah.
going to turn this into garland. And it's really simple. You basically get those little pasta hair bows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're going to get some white glue and a paintbrush and some string.
Oh, you're going to glitter them up.
And we're going to gold glitter these bad boys.
Sure.
And you just glitter them up, and you just put a little glue on there, and then allow it to dry, and then they look so cute as a button. And then now you can just take some yarn or string and just kind of wind around each center of the bow and on and on.
All right.
And maybe even use like a gold piece of yarn. And now this becomes your garland to decorate like right over where guests arrive or whatever you want to do. Very festive. Isn't that cute?
Very cute. And how about making your own homemade hats?
Cute.
Those New Year hats, they're cardboard and they always look kind of like, they're black and white and, come on, you can do better than that. What about just making your own? All you need is some elastic string, a stapler, create the little conal shape with some cardboard, and then you can throw either your glitter on or feathers or, whatever you want to do, gold, silver, whatever the theme of your night is. That's what I'm talking about.
Very, very fun.
Right.
Now, you also can make your own kind of a constellation cookie tray, because this also kind of speaks things of the new day and the new year. And you can paint a tray with chalkboard paint. This is so easy. There's like no thinking involved. Get a chalkboard paint, or even to get spray paint. Okay. And Rust-Oleum makes a great spray chalkboard paint in black.
Yep.
Paint a tray or maybe an old frame. Let it dry. And then you're going to get some star-shaped cookies at the bakery. And then you're going to create a constellation, like kind of mimic a constellation, and then use chalk to connect the dots, to connect the stars. And the final step is then get some little confetti of gold and black, little teeny tiny stars from the arts and crafts supply store, and then just sprinkle that on there. You're not
That's kinda cute.
loving it?
No, I love it.
It's kind of cute. You can almost make it look like, whatever your favorite constellation, Big Dipper, Little Dipper.
I think that's kind of great.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? How about creating a sequin palette photo backdrop?
Fun.
So, you get those little sequins. You can get them at any of the art stores. and you go ahead and you just, again, you run strips across the wall, that's going to be your background. The double-faced tape, blue preferably. You want blue so it's not going to pull the paint off when you pull them off. And just glue rows of those gold sequins on the wall.
Cute.
So when the folks stand in front of it for your New Year's Eve party pictures, it looks like you're in some crazy celebration. And where is it? Some wall in your house.
Isn't that's so clever? I love that idea.
I know, right?
Okay. Very, very
Happy
fun.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right, guess what I'm going to do?
What are you going to do?
Crash about 9:30.
Well, don't do that yet. Anyway, we have more to talk about. In fact, when we return, we're going to talk about some of the gardening trends that you're going to want to think about, some things that will really, make you enjoy your outdoor spaces. Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole, you're listening to Home Wizards.